Like Paul Wall and Chamillionaire have been friends since like 3rd grade or something. You know, they're real close. They grew up together.
This Paul Wall right here.
We lived down the street from each other, so, you know, we was in the same grades growing up. You know, we had the same classes, so we just was always generally friends.
It's a 50 dude that by himself, baby.
While developing their style, Paul and Cam worked together in street promotion in Houston, working for Masterpiece, No Limit Records, and eventually for Michael Watt's Swisher House.
They were humble, man, when I first met Paul and Cam, man. You know, they was like trying to get on and try to get some exposure and try to make it, man.
We was just doing talent shows and rapping on karaoke machines, and my boy Michael Watts took us and just took it to a whole nother level with us.
In 1999, after listening to Paul and Cam's demo, Michael Watts recorded some tracks and started putting them on his Swisher House mixtapes.
We never had a label. Swisher House wasn't a label, you know, so we wanted to put out an album, so we went to a label called Paid in Full that one of our homeboys owned and run. So we got down with that, you know, just give us an avenue to put out albums.
2002's Get Your Mind Correct was a smash hit, selling over 100,000 copies independently, and was nominated for the Source Magazine Award for Independent Album of the Year.
Everybody was jamming Paul and Cam. The Get Your Mind Correct CD, classic.
Despite the fact that they complemented each other well musically, their success began to amplify the differences between them.
You know, just their personalities. You know, Paul's just a real, you know, friendly kind of guy. He's the one that's always out politicking.
Me and Cam are right, and me and Paul like brothers. You know, I love Paul Wall to death.
Chamillionaire is definitely more reserved, you know, kind of keeps to himself a little more.
When people don't talk a lot, people get intimidated. Like they can't approach him. They might be scared to say, hey, Cam, can I do this and this and that? Whereas people feel like Paul might be their big brother or their cousin or their uncle or somebody's like, it's Paul. I mean, I heard Hulk Hogan the other day on TV. What it do, Paul Wall?
What it do is Paul Wall, baby.
The way Chamillionaire described it, he said they always had sort of a good guy, bad guy relationship where Chamillionaire would be the bad guy.
Both of them are two good artists with two different views of life and business, you know what I'm saying?
I was wanting to jam screw, he wasn't. He was always complaining, talking about it gave him a headache.
Cam has his own way of thinking, and Paul has his own way of thinking. And nobody was really want to compromise towards the other, you know what I'm saying?
I had my set of friends, he had his set of friends, and, you know, it was like, when the money, especially when the money came into the picture, you know, I felt we should do this with the money, he felt like he should do that with the money. We just, you know, we just stopped getting along.
Paul recorded a solo project at Paid in Full, and when their contract came up for renewal, Paul left the label to rejoin Swisher House, which in their absence had restructured itself into a legit record company.
They had, you know, a plan for what they was trying to do business-wise, not just the mixtapes, but, you know, do some real stuff with the music, you know, turn it into a powerhouse. And I was down with it. They really didn't have a lot of artists. They had just signed Mike Jones, Magnificent, and that was it.
But Chamillionaire wouldn't return to Swisher House, opting instead to start his own company, Chamillionaire.
In this world, you got some people that want to be an artist and some people that want to be a boss. You know what I'm saying? I'm a boss, man.
I went one way, he went another way.
I don't sit on a label and somebody tell me how much money I can make. You know what I'm saying? He went back to Swisher House. Michael Watts make all the money and tell the artists how much they gonna make. I didn't want to do that. So he went back over there. I did, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting money right now by myself.
It was hard for a lot of people to just understand what we were going through because they were so used to seeing it side by side for so long.
That's like when we came up, man, you came up together 24/7 and we doing music. But one day you just up and say, man, I really, you know, I do this music and I like it, but I might want to do it this way. Or I might want to go do a movie. And I'll be like, well, that's cool, but I don't want to do a movie and I want to stay doing music this way. They're going to automatically, when y'all start doing different shit, they're going to be like, what's going on with them? Why they ain't around each other? They beefing?
Even when we put out our first album together, Get Your Mind Correct, we wasn't really cool. We was just forcing something, going in the studio, making music. We was forcing it just for the money.
Soon after the split, Swisher House got a deal through Atlantic and Cam landed a deal with Universal.
Chamillionaire dropped this mixtape, I think it was called Mixtape Messiah. In the mixtape, Chamillionaire's brother made a comment about Paul Wall's mother.
Chamillionaire's younger brother, Rasak, had also grown up knowing Paul Wall.
It was something to the effect of, you know, don't front, I know your mama, you know, but it's all good, I still love you. Like the way his brother explained it to me was that he wasn't trying to insult his mother. He was just saying like, don't try to be something that you're not. You know what I mean? Because it was like, they wanted this whole thing like Paul Wall really grew up really Christian. He used to carry a Bible all through high school. And then, you know, once he started to blow up a little bit, you know, he started talking about, started swearing, started talking about smoking and drinking and stuff like that. And their point was like, don't try to act like this is not really who you are, But you mentioned someone's mother in a rap, people get fired up.
In November 2004, Roc showed up by himself to a club where Paul was known to hang out.
Chamillionaire's brother got jumped by Paul Wall and like 5 people.
Cause I ain't never been on none of that stuff, I've always been the type of rapper where, and just the type of person where if somebody gonna diss me on a tape or somebody gonna say something about me, then, I'm not gonna rap about them, I'm gonna go beat them up or something,
They tried to take his chain, whatever else. He went to his car, got his gun. Police caught him with the gun. He had a felony charge against him. He was facing 5 years. He beat the case recently.
With the mixtape disses and the incident at the club, what could have been 2 former partners going separate ways was quickly becoming beef. Paul and Cam began speaking out publicly.
It's a personal thing that go on between us. It's more than just, us talking on records, It's real personal. If I see them, then it's gonna be a problem,
What happened was when I met with Mike Jones and Paul Wall, I asked them about the beef. They said a few things about Chamillionaire and this and that.
Come on, Chamillionaire.
Oh, that guy? He's still rapping?
I showed the footage to Chamillionaire when I was in the studio with him. Them dudes got real upset and got on camera.
And there's a whole bunch of personal stuff going on, but them dudes ain't real the way they handling it right now, They going out saying a lot of crazy stuff about me, but it's all good, I hold my own, I'm gonna be around.
Diss records are flying back and forth.
We both was getting wrapped up in the negativity of it.
I'm not feeling them dudes, man. I'll just leave it at that, man. I'm not feeling nothing they're doing a lot of lines.
Just beefing with each other, or, even, shooting slugs under the table or whatever.
I can't say I got any good feelings about them dudes right there,
It just wrapped our whole lives up into it. It just, surrounded our whole lives, where we both was just thinking negative, and it had a negative effect on both of us.
These dudes are real heavy in Texas, there's big fan bases behind them.
As things grew more serious, it became yet another in a series of beefs in the city. Finally, UGK artist Pimp C, recently released from prison, decided to intervene.
I had been talking to people about some of these beefs from jail while I was in prison. On that old trumped up charge, I was contacting people from in there and telling them, hey man, look, it's time to sit down, man. Talk about this stuff.
Pimp C recorded Knocking Doors Down for his Pimpilation album.
And I just talked about a few of the things that was going on in the city. I spoke on the T.I., the Lil Flip beef. I spoke on Zero and Slim Thug, Paul Wall, Chamillionaire.
When he's talking about knocking doors down, he's talking about knocking down the doors of bullshit, ignorance, and whatnot.
Because when you're a man, you can sit down and iron out your differences, even if you agree to disagree. When you're a man, you can sit down and put all that pride aside.
Are we asking everybody to hug up and kiss and be friends? No. But whatever it is, let's not waste time talking about the same thing over and over. It's not what God gives us these 16 bars and these 3 verses for, man.
Since that record came out, a whole lot of those people have come together.
We just both agreed that, let's just put it to the side. Whatever happened in the past is between me and him, It is what it is, Fuck it, it's in the past, we just gonna move on and just follow our dreams and make this music.
In February 2007, Chamillionaire won a Grammy for his smash hit, Riding, a collaboration with Crazy Bone. So proud of his childhood friend and former partner, Paul Wall rushed up to Chamillionaire and gave him a hug. Since then, rumors have surfaced about a possible reunion collaboration. But the beef between Paul Wall and Chamillionaire was not the first time issues came between 2 close friends and collaborators.